Now let us deal with demonstrative pronouns. Okay, so we'll deal with demonstrative pronouns. Now see, there are 4 words, okay, which come under demonstrative pronoun. That is this, that, and this, and those. Okay, these 4 words, they are also called pointer words because they point to something. They point whether something that is being spoken about, that is near the speaker or far away from the speaker. Like if I say this, okay, this is a pen, so this refers to something which is near. Okay, so these are the books. Plural of this is the plural. Okay, now if I say that is a building, okay, so it refers to something which is far away, and those are the buildings, those are the cars. So this is the plural of those, is the plural of that, and this is the plural of this. So this refers to nearness, this refers to something which is far. This is also nearness and something far. So these are the 4 pointer words. Now you see these words, they can be also used as determiners. So what are determiners? Determiners, they determine or limit the meaning of the noun. So if I say I like this picture, this is a noun. Which picture? This picture. So it is actually defining the meaning or limiting the meaning of this word. So here it has been used as a determiner. But when it is this word, when it will be used as a pronoun, it can act as the subject or object in a sentence. Like this is my book. Here it is acting as the subject. I like this. Here it is this is acting as the object. Okay. So these 4 words, they are demonstrative pronouns. They can also act as determiners or pronoun. How? That I have said. Now there are many uses of these pronouns. What are they? To express some situation that is going on now. Like listen to this. Okay. Then experiences which have just finished. Like who said that? For identifying people during conversation, during telephonic conversation, we say that. So this is Anuradha. Okay. So at that time, this is Anuradha means I am saying that I am the person who is speaking. Next, these are also used as adjective or adverb to intensify meaning in a sentence. So it is not that easy, it is not that easy. The water should not be this hot. So all these pronouns, these are also used to as adjective or adverb. They can be means these words, they can be used to intensify meaning also. So you have seen these 4 words, they can be used as determiners, they can be used as pronouns. And what are the situations where they are used? Okay, so they are also used as adjective or adverb to intensify meaning. So you see how diverse their uses are. So until and unless you are very clear in your mind about the definitions, about the differences, when it will be used and you will be asked, identify it has been used as in which parts of speech or how it has been used, what function it is playing in the sentence. If you are not very clear about the definition, you will find a problem. So understand these things properly. So now we will discuss about the relative pronouns. So they are words, they are pronouns that alone or as a part of a phrase, they begin or introduce relative clauses. So they, as a single word or as a part of a phrase, they introduce relative clauses. Now let us see what does that mean. Let us take an example. The man who came here is my uncle. Now let me say what are clauses. Clauses are parts of a sentence which have its own subject and a finite verb. Okay, so a clause will have its own subject and a finite verb, but it cannot stand independently. Okay, a clause, it is always a part of a sentence. So see, this part is the clause. If you say the man is my uncle, it can stand independently. But if you say this part, who came here, it is having this word who, it is a relative pronoun and it is introducing this clause. Now this clause, because it is introduced by a relative pronoun, is called as relative clause. Now this word who, it is acting as the subject, okay, and came is the verb. But who came here, this part, it cannot stand alone. So it's a clause, it's a part of a sentence, and it is introduced by the word who. So the word who is a relative pronoun, and because this clause is introduced by a relative pronoun, it is a relative clause. So relative pronouns are the pronouns which introduces relative clause. Now how will you choose which pronoun to use? For that, like for persons, you will use who. For a thing, you will use which. Okay, so now see, the book which I am reading is by Satyajit Roy. So the book is by Satyajit Roy, this is the main clause, and which I am reading, this is the relative clause which is introduced by the relative pronoun which. Now the types of the relative pronouns, there can be of WH type, simple. Simple means one word, you see, who, whom, whose, which. Compound, whoever, whosoever, whatsoever, whichever. Now relative pronouns, demonstrative, that can also introduce a clause. Linkers as pronouns, so there are some linkers which links. And now these linkers, what is the difference between a relative, a linker which acts as a relative pronoun and a relative, or only a, this word, if they act only as conjunction, that I will discuss. I will give you two more sentences as example. Now you see, these linkers, they act as pronouns like what, as, but, and there are zero. Here what happens, that relative pronoun is omitted. See this sentence, the man you saw is Mr. Sen. So here you can add the man whom you saw. So that this word, a relative pronoun, could have been used here, which is the man whom you saw is Mr. Sen. So here this word has been omitted. So the sentence is, the man you saw is Mr. Sen. So it is a case of like omitted relative pronoun. Okay, so now I will just discuss this part, the difference between the linkers that I will say. Okay, just now we discussed the types of relative pronouns, and there I said that linkers, which they are linkers like what, as, and, but they function as relative pronoun. Now you see, the difference between relative pronoun and relative conjunction. See, relative pronoun, I know the boy who came here. Here, this word who, it is a linker also, and it is acting as the subject of the clause also. Okay, it is acting as the subject of the clause also. But in case of conjunction, you see, I know the boy because he is my relative. Here it is only acting as only a linker. Okay. So in pronoun, actually it is performing two functions. Relative conjunction, they are joining the two clauses. I know the boy, he is my relative, it is joining. But here the speciality is that it joined the clause, and it also works as the substitute of noun in the clausal structure. So here it is only joining, but here it is also acting as the subject, or the, you can say, substitute of the noun in this structure. So here who is acting as the subject, so linker plus subject, but here it is only the linker which is joining the two clause. So it is the difference between the two. Now let us discuss about the interrogative pronouns. So they are also called WH. They are also called WH words, since all the words, they start with W and or H initially, or they contain that letter. Like see, it starts with H and it has W in the word. So all these, who, whom, whose, what, which, when, where, why, and how, all these, they come under interrogative pronouns. Now few interrogative pronouns, they have specific distinct case forms, means and others, they remain unchanged in all the cases. Like subjective, who said this? Okay, what is he? Here, these pronouns, these are in subjective case. Okay. Now in objective case, whom do you want or what do you want? Possessive case, whose pen is this? So this is in possessive case and these words are in objective case. Now you see these interrogative pronouns, some of them, they are functioning as pronoun like who is he, whom do you want. But these two, who and whom, these have no, they cannot function as determiners. But others, like whose is this book? Here it is acting as pronoun, but whose book is this? The noun is this word whose, it is acting like an adjective, and you can say as determiner and limiting the meaning of this word book. It is used just before book and it is acting as a determiner. Like what is he or which is yours? Okay, which is yours, but here you see which coat is yours. So this is the noun and this is acting as the determiner. What kind of book? So what kind of book? So here these are acting as determiners. These two only are acting as, they cannot, who and whom cannot act as determiners. So you have seen that interrogative pronouns and how they can also be used as determiner. How can also they function as determiners. This is all about interrogative pronouns. So we have completed our discussion on definite group pronouns and we move on to indefinite group pronouns. See, when I say Ravi is a good boy and then I replace the word Ravi by saying that he is also a good player. Here the word he is referring specifically to Ravi. So they come under definite group pronouns. Like personal pronoun, he, the word pronoun he is personal pronoun. But see, in indefinite group pronouns, you can divide it into, classify it into three types: indefinite, distributive, and reciprocal. Indefinite, you will say one, any, some, many, or none. None of them were present. None of them did it. Or one should keep one's promises. So you see, I'm not referring anyone specifically. One or any, they are indefinite. Okay. Then distributive. Each of the boys performed well. Either, neither. So these come under distributive. And the third one is reciprocal, like each other, one another. So these three, they come under indefinite group pronouns, and this is all about it. So we have completed our discussion on definite group pronouns and indefinite group pronouns in details. I hope you are enjoying my videos. If you are enjoying it, you are finding it useful, like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching.